This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday boy for today, October 3rd, is an NHL star for the New York Rangers and the Boston Bruins. He played 21 seasons with those two teams. He won 2 Lady Byng Awards for the most gentlemanly player in the NHL. He was inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1985 and is one of the 100 greatest NHLers in history. He's 82 years old today. He is Jean Ratelle. Jean Ratelle was born in Quebec, but he played his junior career in Guelph for the Guelph Mad Hatters. One day in the early 60s, Jean Ratelle was skating and tripped on an ice cream wrapper thrown on the ice. Ratelle fell in it and had a serious back injury and had to go through spinal cord surgery. Back when surgeries were more archaic than they are nowadays. Ratelle had to go through several back operations, and people thought that his career was done for. Fortunately for Ratelle, the spinal cord surgery was a success, and so he became a regular for the New York Rangers from 1963 to 1975. Ratelle would be the center of the great gag line, aka the Gola game line, with Vic Hadfield, who I kind of have a bone to pick with because of his throwing Bernie Perron's mask in the crowd in the 1971 NHL playoffs between Rangers and the Leafs, and Ron Gilbert, who just recently passed away. He was a great Rangers scorer. Every year from 1968 to 1973, he was the Rangers' top scorer. He was the gentlemanly player. He was the consummate professional for the New York Rangers to make things out. Unfortunately, Jean Ratelle had injury problems, not just with his back, but in 1972, when he was in the lead for the scoring title, which would have been amazing, he had to sit out 15 games due to a undisclosed injury. I can't remember if it's the one that the teammate did it to him, but anyway, it didn't matter. Ratelle did miss some time, missed the scoring title, and did help the Rangers make the 72 final against the Boston Bruins. Ratelle scored 109 points despite losing 15 games. If he scored a point per game, he would have been at 120, which would have been amazing. Only 3 people beat him for those scoring thing. Esposito, Bobby Orr, and Johnny Cusack, all for Boston. So Ratelle was still a great scorer and all that. His 109 points was a Rangers record for points in a season until 2006 when Jaromir Jagr broke it the year after the lockout. Unfortunately, one of the biggest missed trades in Rangers history happened in November 1975. He, alongside Brad Park and Joe Sanusi, remember the name Joe Sanusi, traded him to Boston for Phil Esposito and Carl Vadnais. The trade would be huge because you would trade Brad Park, who was your best defenseman, probably the best New York Rangers defenseman, between Harry Howell and Brian Leetch, to Boston, a hated rival, with Jean Ratelle for Phil Esposito, who would be a Rangers killer, and Carl Vadnais. Vadnais didn't really do so well. Espo kind of did okay with the Rangers, but he wasn't the big boy of offense they wanted him to be. And Emile Francis made the trade out of respect, so that Ratelle did not have to relocate his family far, and the Bruins wanted Ratelle's skills at center to try to win a Stanley Cup. Jean Ratelle would pick up another 100-point season that one and all that. He would play 5 more years with Boston. And Boston needed his center skills. Sadly, though, he would fail twice in the finals with Boston to win the Stanley Cup, both times losing to the heavily favored Montreal Canadiens in the 1970s. He was sixth in all-time scoring when he retired after the 81 season. He never played for a Stanley Cup winner, being a finalist in 72, 77, 78, all that. He was a member of Team Canada in '72 when they went to the Summit Series and beat the Soviets. He was a gentlemanly player through and through. He was top 5 in the Lady Byng voting 9 times. And between 1970 and '78, he had a string in which he was top 3 6 times and won the trophy twice. Ratelle would be an assistant coach with Boston and a scout as well. 1985, year of my birth, Jean Ratelle was inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame. And in the famous book, 100 Ranger Greats in 2009, Ratelle was named number 7 all time. And the Rangers decided on February 25th, 2018 to retire his number 19. So his number 19 is retired by the Rangers. So that's pretty impressive, don't you think? So in his time with the Rangers and Bruins, he put up 491 goals, 776 assists, 1,267 points in 1,280 games, regular season games. And in the playoffs, in 123 games, he scored 98 points, close to the century mark, very close. If he had scored a point for the Bruins in 1980 and 81, he would have got the 100 points. So yeah, what's the matter? And yeah, he was part of the Summit Series team in '72. But Jean Ratelle is a gentlemanly player. In fact, I think he's the second most gentlemanly player in Rangers history behind one Frank Boucher, who won the Lady Byng so many times that he got to keep the trophy. But yeah, Jean Ratelle was a great player for the Rangers in the '70s, and you can't beat that. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.